Okay, so here we are back looking at the CS market again, and you would think things couldn't have gotten worse, but things have gotten significantly worse since yesterday. Market cap, once again, like 2 days ago, was $6 billion. It is now $3 billion, and it might be $20 at the end of tomorrow. So we're not making good pace right now. Let's actually cover today what I think, and I listen, hear me out. What I think you should invest in if we get to the prices that I think are fair. Because obviously everything was extremely expensive. Whatever it was before, $1,200 for a Deagle Blaze, $1,100 for a Deagle Blaze, that's a lot of money. So okay, something I should start with is, obviously this update didn't affect stuff like a Icarus Fell, a Deagle Blaze, a Howl, a Dragon Lore. It just didn't. But people have lost so much faith in the market that just everything is dumped out. Does it make sense, quote unquote, for a Dragon Lord to drop 25% off this update? Not really, but it's just because people have lost so much faith in the market and so much faith in Valve. I've seen so many Twitter posts where people are like, oh, they're going to re-release the Cobblestone collection now because they just do whatever they want. I don't think that's going to happen, but things have gotten pretty crazy. So let's actually cover where I think we should buy at. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, one thing I talk about is pre-hype levels. I've talked about this 100 times. And I was like, if things, and I was talking about this like up here and up here. I was like, if things get back down to pre-hype levels, then you can consider buying. Now, apparently, I don't even know if this price is accurate, by the way. I guess it is. I mean, here's another thing, by the way. The buff prices and the CS float prices and the everywhere prices are just so different right now because there's so many people dumping that I don't even know what the actual prices are. And they're changing literally by the minute.
This video is sponsored by SkinsMonkey. If you've been looking to trade out your old boring skins for new ones, SkinsMonkey is the place. By clicking the link in the description, you'll get a 35% deposit bonus when depositing with cash and crypto, and up to a free $5 bonus on your first trade. So be sure to click that link. SkinsMonkey also has the freebies tab where they run 24/7 giveaways that are completely free to join with crazy skins. And if you're looking to actually get your hands on some good skins, SkinsMonkey is the quickest way to do it. So be sure to get that free $5 and 35% deposit bonus now, trading your CSGO skins with that link at the top of the description.
So when this video comes out, they could be completely different, but we'll just assume this is correct for now. $551 for Deagle Blaze. This thing is halved in price in like 2 days. Fundamentally speaking, I don't think it's a horrible spot to buy at. This thing has dropped over half, like 60% of its price in like 2 days, and now it's back at levels we saw in 2024. Now, you can make the argument that it could come back down to 2020 prices and be at like $250, $260. Me personally, I think that's too crazy. If a Deagle Blaze comes back down to $250, I will be stocking up on them. Assuming I could actually even get my hands on them, but here we are. So, fundamentally speaking, I was always talking about these pre-hype levels, and like, we've seen crazy stuff like this happen before. When the first CS2 hype spike came around, we saw, I mean, they literally, well, I guess that was in 2021. In 2023, these went from $500 to $1,400, which was actually crazier than this spike, in just a few months' time. So it's not ridiculous to see huge price swings in the market. Obviously, I don't want to say this one was expected. Nobody could have expected the CS2 market cap to drop 50% in 2 days. That's literally just insane. But you need to realize player count is still ridiculously high. This only technically affects knives and coverts and I guess all the skins you can unbox in cases. Should the Deagle Blaze be down 50% off of this? Not really, but everybody's terrified right now, so it just is. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I have extreme confidence in buying anything in this market right now because nobody does. I'm not going to act like I want to scoop up a Deagle Blaze at $550. But just keep an eye out for those pre-hype levels. See if things get a bounce from here, and then maybe it'll be a spot to buy. I would also say don't be in too much of a rush to do anything right now. Obviously, there's so much panic in the market right now. There's literally posts on Twitter about, I saw a post that like 15 Chinese dudes unalived themselves because they had so much money in the CS market. I don't know if that's true, But, I mean, obviously, people lost so much money with this. It's ridiculous. But just going back to this, pre-hype levels. And Icarus fell $450. It was around this level for like 2 years. I think that's where the demand is. Is it going to come all the way back down to those levels? I do not know. But just from like a relatively safe level to buy, because we saw so much demand for it at this price for so many years, I would assume that's the price it comes back down to, and that's the price you can justify getting in at. If you've just been sitting in cash or waiting, because I've said for so many videos, I'm like, things are really expensive right now, and taking profit is not a bad idea. Those were pretty much my exact words. I didn't say sell everything. I didn't sell everything, but I said taking profit was not a bad idea, because we had charts that, can I zoom in? Like, we had charts that looked like this, and I was like, I don't know what's really going to cause the market to crash and for prices to come back down, because it seemed impossible at the time, but obviously it did happen. So no point in talking about what happened in the past. We'll just talk about entries now. And I think the entries are at, once again, keyword, write this on your homework, pay attention, class, pre-hype levels. Say it together now. When things come back down to pre-hype levels, and I mean when I say pre-hype levels, before things started going completely parabolic, like, this is a parabolic move. It's a parabola. It keeps going up. It starts off slow. It keeps going up, sharper, and then comes back down to the pre-hype levels it was at before. If we could, and I think that level right now is like the 2024, maybe late 2023 levels for most skins. A lot of the charts are pretty similar, so that's where I'm at. We'll look at some other skins as well. I do want to cover some high tiers. I bought this at 4,600. Oh God. Okay, where's the Dragon Lore? $5,000. Okay. Thank God I'm still in profit with this thing. But here we go. Okay, so I'll cover high tiers as well. If anybody is crazy, if anybody is crazy enough to buy high tiers right now, shout out to you. I don't know. I saw $4,100 prices on this thing earlier today. I think that's a fine level to buy at. I mean, what can you even say is a fair price for this to come down to? I would have said like here. I've actually said in videos, I was like, I don't think this thing is coming back down below $6,000 anytime soon, and I was a little bit wrong. It's at $5,000 right now. It's so hard to say because nothing changed with the Dragon Lore or like any of the high tier skins with this update. It's just like the market getting destroyed. Oh, it's so hard to say. I don't know. If you can get one of these for $4,000, I think it's a fair price. I bought mine at $3,600. And I've never had an issue holding it. Obviously, I bought it at a pretty decent time. It's just a crazy time in the market right now. I would like to think the worst of it is over after these 2 days. I mean, once again, we've dropped 50% in the entire market cap, down 42% over just the past 24 hours. So it's actually absolutely crazy right now. Thank God I sold my Poseidon. That's one thing I'm actually happy about. I actually made good money off that. But once again, it's like, I don't want to scare you guys, but I'm like, these things could come back down quite a bit more. I think the Dragon Lore is a lot more solid because it's, as you just saw, the price trend was a lot more strung out. It was like slowly up over a long period of time as people got more comfortable with being at that price. The Poseidon, I covered this so many times. I was like, it's a quick move, and then it comes back down. It's a quick move, and then it comes back down. It's a quick move, and then it comes back down. And then I saw this chart, and I was like, in my mind, and I sold at like 3,500, 3,400 or something. I was telling you guys, I was like, this looks exactly the same as the 3 other times it happened. And I'm not sure what's going to cause it to come back down. But, I mean, can this thing really double? That was what I was saying. Is this thing really going to go from $4,000 to $8,000? Or is it more likely that it just comes back down to a reasonable price? And we're seeing it come back down to a reasonable price. 1,300. That's where I'm buying this thing. If this thing comes back down to 1,300, that's where I'm buying it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know if that's going to happen, but we're seeing essentially only sellers in the market right now. So keep your eye out. If you could get this thing at like 1,300, that'd be great. They're 1,900 on float right now. So not going to sit here and pretend like it's impossible. Just any of these consolidated levels, I'd be fine at 1,300 buying this thing. I'd be fine at 1,300 buying multiple of them, to be honest. But it's going to take a long time for people to build their confidence back up in the market. But that's where we stand right now. I hope that does cover everything. I didn't even cover cases or anything, but I think just those skins are fine for now. Obviously, I would not touch knives. I would not touch gloves for now. I mean, $8,000 for minimal wear hedge mazes, in my mind, when you can trade up 5 reds from, is still, it's way too much. I can't justify that yet. I'll actually take a look at these and then we'll end the video, but here we go. Where are we at? Once again, I'm much more thinking these could come back down to like 3,500, maybe even 2,500 before they're going back to 18 grand. I mean, I don't think these are ever going to be 18 grand again. After this update, unless the coverts are somehow $1,000 each, I don't know. I don't think that's going to happen. So I wouldn't be touching gloves right now. I wouldn't be touching knives just yet. Maybe I'll make a completely separate video on that, but that's where we're at right now. So thank you guys for watching. Check out the sponsor with that link at the top of the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.